Welcome back to the Your Houston podcast. This is Mario Castillo. Today, we're excited to welcome Edna Griggs, the CEO of Acres of Angels. But first, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel to check out all of our content. Edna's been involved in her community since she was 12 years old, founding her own organization just a few years ago. We're going to hear all about the work Acres of Angels does and the upcoming information on the upcoming diabetes walk. We've got a lot to talk about, so let's get right into it with Edna.
I feel the liftoff. The clock has started. Roger.
All right, we are very excited to be joined today by Edna Griggs, the CEO of Acres of Angels. Before we get into our discussion, we're going to get to know Edna a little better and ask her a few questions. First, we want to know, what is your favorite restaurant in Houston?
Breakfast Club.
The Breakfast Club. Okay. That's a good one. And the last time I went there, I stood in line for a while. Yes. I don't know if they still have a line, but it was a few years ago. Okay.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad they're doing well and they're still as popular as they have been. What do you usually order there?
Catfish and grits.
Okay.
But I get there early. If you get there early, the line is not as bad.
I had the chicken and waffles when I was there. You know, if I was going to go there, I was going to try.
You're going to try to, yeah. Well, so you can get chicken and waffles anyway. So I like the catfish. So
okay.
Catfish and grits.
What is your ideal vacation?
Actually, Jamaica.
Okay.
Jamaica. Yeah, just the waters, sitting on the beach and just being there and being around people, because I love people.
Mm-hmm. Relaxing, interactive.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a popular choice, the beach vacations, but not usually like a specific location. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
All right. And if you could have a conversation with anybody, past, present, who would you sit down and talk with?
President Obama.
President Obama? Uh-huh. Yeah. I want to say somebody has mentioned maybe Michelle, if I remember correctly. But
well, I probably would have, but since she's not a past president, then I would say president. I'd say, Barack Obama, but I love her as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be, I'm sure, fascinating.
Oh, yeah. I'd love to have her here in Houston, to bring her here, get us motivated, excited. Love to have her here.
We need that.
Mm-hmm. We do. We do need that.
Well, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to visit with us. We're excited to learn more about Acres of Angels and the organization and what y'all have coming up. But first, I want to start with, you were with AT&T for a while, retired with the Communication Workers of America. What made you decide to start this organization?
I have been working in the community all my life, since I was actually probably 12 with my parents. They were very community organizers. And so it's just been in the blood all my life. Even working, I was with AT&T for 42 years. Even working with them, I was still did the community work. I just wasn't able to do it as much because I was working. While I was working, I was very involved with the United Way. And so we did a lot with the United Way. So I've just always been involved. So after I retired, being a senior, I said, because the organization really didn't start out with the diabetes part of it together. It was really for children. I wanted to, if I could save our kids and get them on the right track at an early age, we could keep them from having diabetes like I have. So that was the purpose when I started it. Those first, that's about maybe 4 or 5 years, I did a Mardi Gras party every year. And part of my proceeds went to kids living with diabetes at Texas Children's Hospital. Okay. And so once I retired and I started getting out into the community again and started going into some of my senior places and just seeing what they were doing and, and I just find out it was just so much they didn't have. And a lot of them were living with diabetes, heart trouble, blood pressure. And so that's kind of where I started. And kind of one place I was at probably for about maybe 3 years, just that one particular senior place, about 150 there. And then after that, I say, you know what? I need to venture out. Let me go and visit some other seniors and see what they have and what they don't have. And so then that's what I got about 4 places I go to now. Probably right at about 2,500 seniors that live with all those places. And so I go out and we play bingo, educate them, feed them, just encourage, just encourage them, because a lot of times they just need somebody to talk to. They just need somebody to be there and know that they care. And I've always been committed to that anyway. So just giving back now to the community. And I'm able to do it as a senior, working with the seniors. Sometimes I find some seniors a little younger than I am. And I'm saying, wait a minute here. But, just helping them.
That's fantastic. And, it's great that you're so focused on the seniors because, like you said, oftentimes they may not get the resources, or maybe they're not, computer savvy or have an email. And so you got to talk to them. You got to share stuff on a flyer to
That's
get
right,
that
on the flyer.
information.
One of the ladies was saying yesterday, she was saying is that, they were talking about the computers and how they need to do this. And she says, well, I can't do any of that. She said, I need flyers so I can take and pass out to my other friends. And so, you got to keep that going because they don't have access. Now, a lot of them do have, iPads and things, but they still just don't know how to just work them like they should.
Yep. It's great. It's a great focus, and it's definitely needed because as, future generations grow and develop, they can overlook the fact that, there's still folks out there that are not tech savvy or not, on the phone all the time, getting their news and their information on the phone, which is where most people get it from now.
That's right. And I would just love to really see that I could get kids more involved, young kids that are really into the computers to come out and bridge that gap with them to be able to show them. Because like I said, a lot of them, they get these free iPads.
Yep.
But, they still don't understand how to. So if we could maybe come up with something where the kids would come out and maybe work with them and show them how to, at least the basics, that might be good.
So do you take volunteers? Is that something like
if they want to come out? Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Because I really and truly, I have like different committees. So I have a senior committee, a media committee, education committee with my organization, because I have a lot of variety of women. Most of them are women. And then I started about 2 years ago, boys to men, because during the pandemic, I seen that our young men were dropping out of school, not coming back. My daughter's the vice principal, and she was just saying how bad it was. So I said, man, I got to do something. So I started Boys to Men. And the last 2 years, we kind of did it on Zoom.
Okay.
But this year, I'm hoping that I can go back and go in, take it actually and bring the guys in so they can be able to just connect with some mentors and people to come in and talk to them.
So how does the Boys to Men program work?
Well, it's just like I said, just started about 2 years ago. And so what we did, the first 2 years we did it on Zoom.
Okay.
And I had a lot of our judges that are elected judges now to come out, and mostly, being men. So I had, just a variety, diversity to come and talk to them. And then they were able to ask questions. Now, to get them there was kind of difficult because, they wasn't interested in that. But what I did is that I had gift card giveaways. So in order for them to come onto the Zoom, they got to get into the drawings for that. And so my grandson being a football player, those boys wanted to be on there to get those gift cards. So they came on. It was really good. And so they really want me to bring it to the school. And so that's what we're looking at right now. Just got through taking my daughter, she's at MacArthur High School, and we just got through taking them down to the court to see the criminal courts, because these kids right now are just doing so much. Yep. And I say, well, if they go to the courts and they really see what's happening there, maybe we might be able to change some of the things that they're out there doing, because they just going wild right now. And so it did work out really good. So they're going to be doing an article. We should have that article out this week in AFRAM News. They thought they was really excited about it. And now I think the principal is going to try to do it once a month to take a group of kids down there. It was very, very, very positive. Good feedback.
Just had an episode with the Urban Enrichment Institute. They're primarily based in Fifth Ward, but they will pick kids up after school that are part of their program, take them to a facility where they'll, you can do homework, you can get tutoring, you can play basketball, and then they'll take them home and they'll also feed them.
Really?
It's a school to home after school program to keep them, productive
Exactly.
and they've had some great results. And that was a program
wonderful.
we didn't even know was out there.
I didn't either.
Yeah. We can connect you with them.
Yeah, make sure. Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah, those types of programs are so impactful because you talked earlier about the youth and wanting to keep them out of trouble and keep them on the right track.
Exactly.
That's the way to do it.
And one of the things I was talking to one of my healthcare providers, it's going to be, she's one of my doctors is going to be there, and she was we were talking about the seniors, but that she was telling me that what she would like for me to see me do too is bring the because we're generation, we're talking about the senior, but we're talking about the daughter, the granddaughter, and we need to start them connecting now with the seniors, so that way once they start getting older, they won't get into these bad habits and because she says she see it a lot of times. Some of the seniors kids have actually passed from these diseases and things. So if she can start with bringing them in along with the seniors. And so I said, well, that's a good idea. So maybe I'll get the young kids to get involved. And at the same time that, we can teach them. So I'm excited about trying to see how that works.
Great.
Just trying to save lives.
And you've got a number of things going to help there. So with Acres of Angels, you have a diabetes walk coming up.
Yes.
So tell us about that.
Diabetes walk is coming up. Well, what happened was I actually worked. I was on the board with the American Diabetes Association at one time. And then I guess during the pandemic and things, I don't know what happened, but they just went away. And so I had not been able to get in touch with anybody or, to try to see what was going on because I wanted them to come out to my walk. So what I found out is that it was a really disconnect I felt being on the board with the communities and the minority communities it really was. And so I said, you know what, let me start my own walk. And so that's what I did. And then I said, let me bring that walk back to the community.
Yep.
Because that way, a lot of them don't have transportation. The park is right there. It's not far. They can walk to come to the park. And so I don't charge any type of registration. People saying, why don't you do that? No, because I want to save lives. It's about getting them to walk. And so what happens, some people say, well, I can't walk. I said, well, okay, so this is what we'll do. We'll walk for those that can. But then on the inside, we'll have the tables where people be able to get information. But I'll also have line dancing. I have yoga, and I have Zumba. So those that can't walk is still able to get some type of exercise in. So it is. This will be my 7th year, and it's going well.
Wow, that's fantastic. 7 years. I'm sure it gets a little bigger each year.
Each year it gets bigger. And believe it or not, I have a lot of seniors because I told them what walk that you can go to and get gift cards.
Yeah.
So I have gift card giveaway. That's to get them there.
Yeah.
I have some kind of incentive to get them there.
That's right.
But so this year I have a couple of I think they're it's these sororities that's coming out. And I can't remember, it's a fraternity. I think it's a fraternity and a sorority group that are coming out. So I'm just trying to build my walk up. Usually I have about 75 to 100 walkers, but I really want to increase that to about 200. So that's what I'm hoping this year that we'll,
Okay, and when is it? Where is it? If someone wants to...
Yeah, it's going to be at Lincoln Park, which is at 957 Crenshaw in Acres Homes. And it's going to be March 25th from 9:30 to 2.
Okay.
And we'd love to have people come out and just, and it's a fun day because they also, while we're doing that, they have a baseball game that's kind of going on outside with the kids. So it gets a chance for people to interact, come in and be able to take advantage of the health fair as well as being there to see their children play baseball. So it's good.
And you can just show up, right?
Just show up.
Okay.
Just show up, no cost involved, and we usually have fruit. Try to have things that's healthy, there. But it's a lot of good information. I have UT Stroke. will be there. I have Remix Medical. I have a young man that he does CPR. Fire department to be there. Houston First.
Oh yeah.
You will be there. They'll be there. I also have God, it's got about 18 different vendors.
Wow.
That'll be there. That'll be set up with information and things. And it's really good because the last 2 years that I had it, I had 2 incidents that happened. One lady had came, found out that just being there to get her blood pressure checked, that her blood pressure was like 200 over. Yeah, so one they said they sent her immediately to the hospital.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then another lady had kind of got sick and found out that she was actually having a stroke. That's why I got UT stroke there. And so it has been really, for people to come and be able to really, some people just don't go to the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And, and so they would just sit back and try to do all these home remedies. And so to come out and be able to check and find out that your blood pressure, the blood sugars, we try to do that too, but a lot of times now they don't like to do the blood sugars. But I think Don is coming out. Don is going to be there. Don's going to be there. And they have some other way now that they can check the levels without having to prick and take the blood. So I'm excited about that. So, because really, I want people to really know what their numbers.
I'm glad you shared those stories because, why do we do these things? Why is it important to bring it to the community so it's accessible? Because like you said, a lot of people don't go to the doctor, and it's not always because they don't want to. It could be because they don't have a way to get there, or they're working 3 jobs and they have no time, or there's not a good clinic nearby. Yeah. And so putting those resources in a place where if it's in your neighborhood, you can walk there.
That's right. You can walk there. Exactly.
And there's no cost.
And it always, when I was working with the AT&T, they always people would always say, man, I don't understand is that you got good insurance, very good insurance. Why are people still dying? Why are people having heart attacks? Why is the blood pressure going up? And I said, well, it's because they couldn't get off to go to the doctor. If you're on a job that mostly like in a call center, that you got to be there, it's hard for you to get off and go to the doctor. So that was one reason why you didn't have the flexibility to even go to the doctor. So as you said, if you're working 2 or 3 jobs to try to support your family, even though your health should be first, but they're not looking at that. They're looking at family first, taking care of them. Oh, yeah. And so this is why this is crucial, because it gives them an opportunity to be able to, at least find out what their numbers are. So that way, if it is high, they can get to the doctor. Yep.
And, you always think you can put it off or you'll do it next week or next month. But at some point, that's going to catch up to you.
Yes, it will catch up.
So it's great that you take that into account. You design this to be accessible. You bring it to the neighborhoods, because those are things that often get overlooked. Yes. And when they're overlooked, people get left out. They miss out on those opportunities, and it's already saved some lives. So
it really has. And so I'm looking hopefully to get, it's been hard to get in touch with the Heart Association, because I would love to have them out, and then dealing with prostrate and things like that. I'd love to have, but I do have a vendor that's coming. I think they're called the African American Wellness Program or something, that's coming into Houston now. And I think they're going to be having in April some big walks. So they're going to come and set up. And that's what they're geared at men. Okay. Geared at men to try to make sure men, really get into the wellness part of taking care of their. Yeah. So they're going to be there too. So that'll be good.
Well, it's great that, there are people out there that are being proactive about taking care of their community, taking care of seniors, looking out for kids in a way that's so inclusive, because we, as a nonprofit, Your Houston, we try to get folks more engaged locally, whether that's in their neighborhood, in the government, in the school, you name it. This is where you're getting impacted from all the time, right? That's good. Your local government, your local school. It's not always the federal, not always the state, but it's what's impacting you the most here. And so it's oftentimes what people are least involved in.
That's right.
But it's the most direct, to you.
It is.
And so we try to find, people that are doing good things like this in the community. We try to encourage people to step up and get involved in their neighborhoods more, and, give them the tools to do that, but you're a great example of why it's important and how it's been done successfully. So we
And I'm
appreciate
living
that.
with it. I'm living with the disease. So, I know how hard it is. It's not, I've had it now 15 years, a little 15 years.
Wow.
And it's not an easy, it also takes therapy as well, because it's mentally, because you think that you can just go eat, because this disease is not something that just takes you right down. So you think you can go out here and do these things, but at the same time, it's hurting your body. So it's slowly, affecting your eyes, your kidneys, all these things. And so that's why I think this is so important with diabetes, because it is, it's really in our community. It's really, really like amputations and all that is because of that.
Yep.
So we've got to really, that's why my passion is to help, and I'm doing better, not where I need to be, but much better when I started. When I started, my numbers were like 13, the A1C. And now I'm like down to 5.6.
Okay. And where do you want to be?
That's it. That's it.
Okay.
I'm where
Great.
it is. Yeah.
Congratulations.
But it's still sometimes that you want to, get off and you want to go have something sweet. And so it's discipline. It takes a lot of discipline with this to really be able to keep it where it is. And so I'm hoping that if I can help our young kids and then help our seniors to kind of stay where they're at, then I've accomplished the goal that I wanted to do.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you being here, sharing the information. We hope that you'll check out the Diabetes Walk next weekend, and we'll make sure to promote that because we want as many people as possible to take advantage of that.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Any other event coming up besides the Diabetes Walk?
That's the only thing. Now coming up in June, I'm going to be doing a senior summit. And the reason why I'm doing that is because everybody comes looking for our seniors for voting, but they get nothing back in return. And so this meeting is not going to be like we coming out and wanting the candidates or wanting people to come and tell us. We're going to dictate this meeting. It's going to be us telling what we need, what we want. So I've actually become like an activist for the seniors because they don't have a voice. They talk about all the problems they have, but nobody speaks up and say anything.
Yeah.
So a lot of issues that they're having that I think that it hasn't been addressed on the state level as well as the center and all them. So we're gonna have a survey. So when they come, we want answers. And so since it's gonna be in June, we're gonna kind of put it with like Juneteenth.
Okay.
Like kind of make it like a Juneteenth, but it's reclaiming our voice is what the name of it's gonna be. It's gonna be Acres of Angels Senior Summit, reclaiming our voice.
If somebody wants to volunteer, how can they do that?
They can just call me. I can give you my number, email address, and they can call and get in touch with me. Even out for the walk, I have like I told you, the frat brothers that are coming out. They're coming out and volunteer next week to actually help do whatever that I need them to do. So they'll be there to help. So yeah, volunteers is welcome at any time. Do a lot with the seniors pretty much every week, doing something with the locations and going out. So anybody want to come and help, we're welcome to that.
Well, Edna, thank you so much for stopping by, chatting with us, sharing information about the Diabetes Walk next week and everything else that you're involved in. It's great to see people giving back to their communities, even after they've put in so much with their careers and with the activism, that you've been doing since you were 12 years old. So you're a great example for how people can get involved in their community and their neighborhood and make a difference in a positive way.
Thank you. Thank you.
This has been another episode of the Your Houston podcast. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel to catch all of our content. We have some great episodes coming up. And thank you again to Edna for spending time with us today, talking to us more about Acres of Angels and your upcoming Diabetes Walk. We'll be sure to be there and support and hope you can be there too.